Hi, I'm Steve Saylor, I'm blind, and if you're wondering how I'm able to play video games if I'm blind, if you take a look at the video here, you can see exactly what I see when I'm playing video games. Today I'm going to be looking into Marvel's Avengers BETA that just happened this weekend on PlayStation 4. So today I'm going to be assembling my accessibility thoughts, what I liked, what I think needs improvement, and also my general thoughts of the game so far just based on the beta that we've played. So without any further ado, let's assemble into it. That was terrible. I'm sorry. Oh man, I'm embarrassed. So before I get into my accessibility thoughts of the game, I kind of want to give my general thoughts of the game so far. I was a little bit worried at first when we first heard about the game and started to hear more about what the game was going to be, in that it wasn't going to be a single player mission like it is in Marvel Spider-Man, that it's going to be more multiplayer, it's going to be more co-op, it's going to be online. And I was with a lot of people, I was like, well, wait, what kind of game is this? And even seeing it at E3 last year, I got to see the entire A-Day demo in San Francisco, and I was like, I still didn't understand what this game was going to be. And then it was described to me as Marvel meets Destiny. That's when it clicked for me. I was like, I get it. I know what this game's going to be like, because when you have access to all these Marvel characters and then you have the ability to be able to upgrade them with different sort of weapons and sort of like armor and different sort of things, that basically what we've had in Destiny kind of all along, where you get to build up your power level and you have 3 different character subclasses you can choose from, and even then, like, you have 3 different sort of special abilities you can use. Like, it started to kind of click for me. It's like, oh, okay, this is literally just this kind of the Destiny format, but with all the Marvel characters that I know and love from either watching the MCU or just reading the Marvel comics growing up. So I was really excited to be able to jump in and play this beta. And you do get to play as a lot of different of the Avengers already. You do get to play the A-Day demo in San Francisco, so you get to try out Thor, Iron Man, Hulk, Black Widow, and Captain America. The characters that I liked the most at the beginning of my initial thoughts were, I love playing as Thor, including this one point where I actually got to throw Thor's hammer and hit a guy and plant him against a transport truck, and then I could just keep hitting and punching a bunch of other people. And then when I manually hit the button to be able to bring my hammer back, it just sort of let him go and just and literally just kind of and then I could just continue on. It was really cool to see. Like, it doesn't have the same sort of like fun impact as Kratos' axe does in God of War, but it was still fun to be able to play. If I had to rank at least the 4 that we got to have available to us, I would say probably Hulk, Black Widow, Kamala, Iron Man were probably of the ranking within this beta. Hulk, I love going in and literally just smashing my way across each of the missions that I was doing. I absolutely loved it. Everything from the being able to jump up and down and literally just smashing the ground, and just kind of like the impact of like crater of all the enemies kind of being blown away. The thunderclap sort of like special ability that you have was really cool. And I don't know, I fell in love with being able to use the Hulk. Kamala was a character that I think I could actually really enjoy if I really got into building up her character and building up her power and level, so I can actually unlock more of her abilities, because she has a really cool sort of skill set that I think could be a good balance for your Avengers team when you're going into each of these missions. Black Widow was one of those characters, though, that really surprised me, and I wasn't too sure if I was gonna like it all, but I actually, once I got into the harm room where I got to experiment with kind of her abilities, I actually really loved it. I think probably my favorite sort of aspect of Black Widow was being able to use your grappling hook to kind of pull yourself towards someone, even up in the air or on the ground, and just like basically hitting with a heavy attack. Like, that was my way of kind of going around and being able to like just kind of like feeling like I was a badass. Iron Man was probably the one that I actually disliked the most, because of the fact, like, I couldn't get the flying down. I really couldn't get the hovering, the being able to aim properly. I was just all over the place, and I don't think I really got a grasp on his controls to really be able to utilize him in the best way possible. So with that being said, now let's get into my accessibility thoughts on Marvel's Avengers. I think let's start off with the deaf and hard of hearing, because I want to kind of get out of that not necessarily out of the way, but I definitely want to make a mention to Courtney Craven's a deaf and hard of hearing review on caniplaythat.com. She gave it a 9.2 out of 10 for deaf and hard of hearing, and I would definitely agree with her on that. There is a lot of visual elements that help you as a player to be able to play this game without necessarily the need for sound. These subtitles and full caption options were absolutely amazing. You had different colors for each of the characters speaking, and the captions themselves were really great, being able to describe of what was actually happening on the screen so that you didn't have to feel like you were worried about missing out on the sound itself. While the text could be bigger, the detail in the full captions was something that I hadn't seen before. The Square Enix kind of knocked it out of the park for deaf and hard of hearing. And if you want to be able to read more specific thoughts on that, definitely go to caniplaythat.com. The link is in the description to this video. Now, as far as sort of blind accessibility, there is a lot that I think needs to be improved, especially when it comes to the text size. There is actually a very good readable font that I thought was great, and they did add some UI elements to be able to make the text stand out. I noticed there was a bit of bold text. There was a background color in behind each of the text, so it didn't seem like it was just sort of blended in with the environment itself, which was great. But I think it just in overall, the text size was so tiny that many a times when I was going into the menus, especially when I was going to upgrade my characters, it was really difficult to be able to see, and mostly I was just relying on, okay, is this item a higher power level than what I currently have? Great, I'm going to use it. I never was able to look at, okay, what is this a piece of armor or piece of equipment? How does that benefit me as a player playing that specific character? And I felt like that was going to be that's going to be the case for me if the text size doesn't improve, in that there's going to be so many things I'm going to be able to pick up in the game and the equipment I can be able to use. But to me, the only thing that's going to matter is just what power level it is going to be, because I can actually see what that text size is. I can see, okay, this is a power level 9 compared to a power level 12. Okay, I'm going to use the power level 12. Like, that's totally fine. So I think it just overall, text size is definitely going to have to be improved for me to be able to play it, as well as other low vision and visually impaired players. There's no menu narration, unfortunately. There's no text-to-speech anything at all in this. Even the system level text-to-speech on PlayStation didn't pick up anything. Other things I liked that within accessibility-wise, you can be able to you can choose between tap and hold for multi-tap interactions. There are some times, especially when you're hacking into door panels or anything like that, that I felt that the hold was a little bit too long, and I know that people with nerve damage or people that have difficulty to be able to hold a button for a while can actually that can damage some people. So I would think that there would be a good, if there's a good balance between sort of the two, like from some small hold presses to longer hold presses, if there's somewhere in the middle or a way to be able to adjust that would be great. You could change the difficulty settings for the campaign at any given point, including jumping into each individual mission. I couldn't really tell per se of how that sort of plays out if you're in matchmaking and you're going with a player that has a higher difficulty than you are, how that balances out. Other things I felt like that need improvement: target lock should have an automatic option instead of just off and manual, because I kind of felt like that there were quite a few times where I didn't know what enemies to be able to lock on, and the fact that yes, you can manually sort of push R3 to be able to target a specific enemy, which is great, but when that enemy's down, it doesn't automatically lock on to another enemy. Now, this could have been a bug in the beta, I don't know, but for someone who's blind and trying to be able to distinguish what enemies they're supposed to be attacking next, it was really difficult to find that next target. Kind of jumping onto that targeting assistance, when I set it to moderate, which is sort of the second highest, or like that assistance that it will give you, it felt like I wasn't really like using it at all. Many times when I'm aiming with either Iron Man or Black Widow, it felt like I was all over the place when it comes to trying to be able to aim properly. It literally did not feel like that the targeting assistance was locking on to anybody. As far as like sort of motor disabilities, there is the ability to be able to remap controls, but it wasn't available during the beta. One thing I didn't notice until after the beta was over was when I looked at sort of the controls that was available, there was a tactical awareness button by pushing the up D-pad, and I've been told that that's a way to be able to navigate the world and find where you're supposed to go next. I didn't know that that was an option. I didn't know that that was a button to be able to press, and there wasn't really any hint or tooltip to kind of provide that. And there was a time actually when I was playing in one of the missions in Siberia with Hulk and Kamala that I was like, wait, where is this, like, where is this, like, am I supposed to go? And you're supposed to follow this sort of like beeping beacon, and I'm like, I'm looking everywhere. I spent probably a good 15-20 minutes trying to find where my next thing was going to be, and I didn't know that the tactical awareness button was available. Otherwise I would have utilized it, but that was only something that I felt like it was kind of hidden that I wish I knew going into it. So my overall thoughts on accessibility, I think it's sort of similar to Ghost of Tsushima, that it's almost there. There are definitely some things that are in there that are built into the game itself that definitely really make this game stand out, but there are definitely some settings and some things that are missing that I feel like could, like, it really stands out on what's not there. But who knows, with several games this year, we've had several patch updates that have improved accessibility overall with Ghost of Tsushima and The Outer Worlds. So who knows what this game will be like a year down the road. As of right now, it's decent, but not perfect. I would say try the beta for yourself if you can get access to it, just to be able to see if it works for you. There are definitely some gaps when it comes to each spectrum of disability for each disability types that are definitely missing and might prevent those players from being able to play. There is a lot here, but it doesn't fill every gap. But I have high hopes. I actually do have hope that this, I do know what, like, Square Enix is very big on accessibility and want to be able to push more into this game and try to be able to make it as accessible as they possibly can. So that being said, that's it. I want to thank you all for watching, and if you want to be able to if you have any questions about the game or about the beta, or if you have any comments, leave a comment in this YouTube video, or you can be able to go to caniplaythat.com, or you can be able to hit me up at Steve Saylor on Twitter. If you want to be able to leave a like on this video, I would greatly appreciate it. If you want to be able to see more of my videos, click the subscribe button. If you want to be notified when new videos come out, make sure to hit that bell notification icon. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and as always, I remain obediently yours. Bye.